You know what that song means. Thank you for tuning in to Round 2 Wrestling. I am your host, SlimmDa KID, and it is February 1st, 2023. We had a lot of action in the world of professional wrestling in the past week, and we have a ton of rumors to go over. So let's kick things off on Round 2 Wrestling by taking a listen to the rumor mill. All right. Wrestling Observer Network says a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers have contracts expiring this month. WWE is interested in several of these wrestlers, including, but not limited to, Jay White, Hikulelu, and Tama Tonga. PW Insider reports Mark Briscoe's match on AEW last week was not a one-and-done deal. AEW can use Mark Briscoe any way they'd like moving forward. This is excellent news for the Briscoe brother that survived that fatal car crash that killed his brother 2 weeks ago. It's just sad and unfortunate that it took a tragic event like that in order for Time Warner, that is the company that sort of owns the rights to AEW at this point in time, that it took that for Time Warner Media to change their mind and stance on the whole Briscoe situation. Again, our sincerest apologies and heartfelt wishes go out to the Briscoes' families and those who are surviving members of Jay Briscoe. PW Torch says Khan, a.k.a. Connor in WWE, has signed a multi-year deal with Impact. A quick update to this particular rumor. This particular rumor is now fact. Big Khan, a.k.a. Connor in WWE, has certainly signed a deal with Impact. However, the length and terms of that contract were not released at the time of this broadcast. According to Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Vince McMahon has not been taking part in creative meetings behind the scenes at WWE, nor has he appeared on any TV tapings of any sort since his return to WWE. PW Insider says Matthew Drew is the latest executive to leave WWE. Drew joined in 2021 after leaving DAZN, or D-A-Z-N. His title was Senior Vice President International of WWE. WWE has been cleaning house and has had people resign left and right since the news of Vince McMahon returning to his CEO post were made public. And this includes his own daughter. Would not be surprised to see at least one, maybe two more upper profile people from WWE either willingly leave or be asked to leave now that Vince McMahon is back behind the scenes. MLW sent a cease and desist letter to WWE after WWE reached out to wrestlers in MLW to appear on the Raw 30th Anniversary episode, particularly Jacob Fatu and Lance Anoa'i. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle said on a podcast Hulk Hogan had another back surgery and has lost feeling in his legs. A cane is required for the Hulkster to walk around. Another update to this particular rumor. This particular rumor was just that, a rumor. Somebody from Hulk Hogan's camp stepped forward and said that Kurt Angle's statements were untrue and that Hulk Hogan does in fact have feelings in both of his legs. All right, enough rumors to mull over for the next week or so. So let's jump over to something a bit more real. This is pro wrestling news. You gotta love the bell. Tasha Steelz requests time away from Impact Wrestling shortly after signing her new contract. An update to this particular bit of news: Impact has given Tasha Steelz the time off that she requested. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kota Ibushi, officially a free agent, announced for the upcoming GCW event, The Collective 2023. Ibushi has been on injured reserve since October 2021. Several promotions have reached out and have said they are interested in signing this highly touted wrestler from the land of the rising sun. WWE and AEW are the front runners. WWE alumni Nia Jax returned to the ring and WWE at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view this past weekend. No announcement on an official WWE contract offer was made. PW Insider reports former WWE wrestler Fandango, aka Dirty Dango, has signed with Impact Wrestling. The length and terms of the contract were not disclosed at the time of this broadcast. According to PW Insider, the popular Dark Side of the Ring series is in its 4th season of production. Some wrestling subjects that are being thrown out there are Bam Bam Bigelow, the late Mike Awesome, and Abdullah the Butcher. MLW announced online gaming leader, BetOnline.ag as the title sponsor and official sportsbook partner of Major League Wrestling. 2K Games and WWE officially released the WWE 2K23 YouTube trailer for the upcoming video game. John Cena and War Games were the focal point in the trailer for this new wrestling game. PW Insider reports former WWE and Ring of Honor wrestler Mike Mondo is set to return to the ring for the first time since a blood clot in 2019 sidelined him. No more pro wrestling news to talk about, but we had a pay-per-view take place this past weekend, and other promotions had titles up for grabs as well. So let's move right into that here on Round 2 Wrestling. Here are pro wrestling title matches. The Royal Rumble took place this past weekend. It is one of WWE's flagship pay-per-views, and of course the men and the women both have Royal Rumble matches. Cody Rhodes won the Men's Royal Rumble in 2023. Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair defeated Alexa Bliss to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble in 2023. WWE Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns defeated Kevin Owens to retain the Undisputed WWE Championship. AEW TNT Champion Darby Allin defeated Buddy Matthews to retain the AEW TNT title. Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli defeated Blake Christian to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. Impact X Division Champion Trey Miguel defeated Mike Jackson to retain the Impact X Division Championship. Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions The Death Dolls defeated Giselle Shaw and Tara to retain the Impact Women's Tag Team titles. MLW Featherweight Champion Taya Valkyrie defeated Trish Adora to retain the MLW Featherweight Championship. The Country Gentlemen defeated NWA United States Tag Team Champions The Fixers to become the new NWA US Tag Team Champions. Not too much gold was on the line this past week, despite the fact that there was a pay-per-view, but there's another pay-per-view this weekend. Be sure to tune in to Impact's upcoming pay-per-view in the next several days. We are coming up to the conclusion of round 2 wrestling, and we will close out this particular podcast with a producer and fan favorite, Did You Know? Did you know are little bits of information and facts about the pro wrestling world that you may or may not have known about. All right. Let's kick things off. Did you know Lanny Poffo, also known as Randy Macho Man Savage's brother, was paid a huge salary to stay at home for his WCW days? Did you know AJ Styles was in a tag team in WCW's final days called Air Raid? Did you know WCW wrestler Disco Inferno was a member of the creative team? This seems like a conflict of interest if there ever was one. Did you know Scott Hall was the person who came up with the whole Crow Sting gimmick? Did you know the NWO had a total of 56 members at its apex? Did you know WCW had sponsorship deals with Monster Jam, NASCAR, and Slim Jim, to name a few? Did you know WWF's Taz defeated WCW's Mike Awesome to win the ECW World Championship? That was a weird one. I had to look that one up, but it's absolutely 100% true. Did you know WWE Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero was in Ring of Honor's first pay-per-view, Era of Honor Begins, in February 2002? He was in the main event. Did you know Ring of Honor and NWA held a champion versus champion cross-promotion pay-per-view? The match ended in a disqualification. Did you know the very first NWA World Champion was not Lou Thez, but a wrestler by the name of Orville Brown? Did you know in 1956 the NWA was charged with an antitrust lawsuit by the U.S. Department of Justice that charged the NWA as a monopoly? Those charges were eventually dropped, but the NWA would never recover from those charges. All right, that is the conclusion of round 2 wrestling. Once again, I am SlimmDa KID, and I personally want to thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast here on the 1st of February. Be sure to tune in next week, where I will bring you more news, more rumors, and more results from the world of professional wrestling. As a side note, are you in Southeast Michigan next Friday? If you are, be sure to check out Combat One Wrestling in Waterford, Michigan at the Waterford Sportsplex. Several wrestling stars will be there, as well as Detroit star Darren McCarty. For more information, please visit the Facebook page Combat One Wrestling for ticket information and bell information. Once again, I am SlimmDa KID. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be sure to tune in next week. Round 2 Wrestling is brought to you by SlimmDa KID and Spreaker.com.